entered the Aerospace Information Research Institute and the Alliance of International Science Organization on the application of satellite technology to support inclusive implementation of the SDGs. This session this afternoon will focus on showcasing the experience that has been gained in the implementation of the CropWatch innovative cooperation program that has been implemented by UNTAD in cooperation with these two co-sponsors, ANSO and the IR Center, to present the experience that we have gained so far, and also to try to engage more member countries that can benefit from this very, very innovative program and from the advanced technology that is made available to interested developing countries to support the implementation of the SDGs, and in particular to improve food security in participating countries. We have with us a very distinguished group of panelists, but before we start the panel discussion, I would like to invite two speakers to give opening remarks. First, Mrs. Shamika Siriman, who is the head of the CSTD Secretariat and also the director of the Division on Technology and Logistics here in UNTAD. Shamika, you have the floor.
Thank you, Angel. Distinguished participants, and dear Professor Chow and Professor Wu, and colleagues from Alliance of International Science Organization, ANSO, and Aerospace Information Research Institute of the Chinese Academy of Sciences. So let me say that it's a great pleasure to welcome you here today at this very timely side event, which will present and discuss the CropWatch Innovative Cooperation Program and the wider potential of satellite technology for crop monitoring in the developing countries. This program, I think some of you will remember, it was announced by the China Academy of Sciences at the 23rd annual session of the Commission in 2020. And we are grateful to ANSO, Professor Chow, for your generous financial support that was instrumental in translating the South-South cooperation from words into action. So thank you so much. And so after 2 years of collaboration, I mean, during a very difficult period, COVID-19 lockdown, the travel restrictions, among the parties involved in the implementation of this program, we are delighted to share this afternoon progress made under the CropWatch program. Bing Fang and I have seen you delivering the CropWatch program in Asia and the Pacific, and amazing work you have done. So I know it's been difficult because you could not, you could not go to the field to do the field analysis, but I know I have heard the testimony, and there's amazing work is still done, given all these constraints we had. So, so we have the privilege of being joined by national experts from participating member states to share their experiences and valuable insights about the program and the application of satellite technologies to the agricultural production. And this, the service, the benefits are immense. So let me also thank AirCast in Mauritius, because we are planning to organize a regional workshop jointly with AirCast. So thank you so much for being with us here. So while priority will be given to countries having participated in this program, because it's really a sharing of lessons and good practices and the way forward, but we also would like to welcome other countries. So please do contact the Secretariat, me, Angel, and others, and express your interest in taking part of this regional workshop and the CropWatch program as well. So let me thank you, all of you, again, the speakers, and to all of you who have joined us in person and online. And I look forward to what I'm sure will be a very, very fruitful and thought-provoking session. So thank you, everyone. Angel, back to you.
Thank you, Shamika. And now we will hear the opening remarks from Professor Jinghua Chow, who is the Executive Director of the Alliance of International Science Organization. Professor Chow, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and respected Dr. Shamika Sharmana, Director of UN CSTD, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, and it gives me much pleasure to attend this side event, which is to summarize the past works on CropWatch and plan for its future development. Also to showcase the effectiveness and success of CropWatch program so that we hope that more countries from the developing world will be interested. I'm here to extend my strong support on behalf of the Alliance of International Science Organizations, ANSO in brief, and wish these discussion interactions, a big and productive success. I want to thank CSTD to have chosen this program to help address the, agro challenges. And what is ANSO then? Yeah, and I want to take the chance to offer a little briefing. ANSO was founded a little over 4 years ago with the coordination support of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, a really science and innovation powerhouse in China, and the support of the 36 other National Academy of Sciences, research organizations, universities, and international science organizations. Now we have, about 67, member institutions, and it is an institution membership-based organization. As NGO, our vision is to promote the UN SDGs and green and quality development of Belt and Road Initiative. The Belt and Road Initiative gives us the pretext of skills, to create this organization with science, technology, innovation, and capacity building. It is very much an action-oriented international science organization. Due to the support of CES and the belief that ANSO in gaining both public and private support, we do manage a limited program support concrete international collaboration actions to promote science and UN SDG goals. Helping the world, helping the developing world address zero hunger, leave no one behind, ranks at the top of the ANSO priority. And the reason we're interested because it fits the ANSO vision and strategic priorities very well. I know very well that the CropWatch program has a very good chance to truly help some of the developing countries to enhance the capacity to cope with, food insecurity challenge if and provided sound and good collaborations are carried out. So to carry out productive collaboration, the interaction and this interaction discussion is very important. You'll find out what has been the best and what needs to be further improved in the future in this collaboration. Though in name and nature, CropWatch is an international training program, it is more so an international collaboration program. Without enthusiastic participation, collaboration, support, and coordination from those participating countries and participating scientists and experts, this program, I guarantee you, will not be so successful. And of course, collaboration only benefits the Chinese scientists. On this note, may I wish strong support, high enthusiasm, and participation from the developing countries involved. Better to say that, they have not countries, as China is also a developing one. May I request the Chinese team, headed by, Professor Wu Bingfang, to do your best to make sure that the receiving side, the expert scientists from the concerned developing countries, to be truly equipped with the capacity ability to make analysis, decision makings by using spatial information, Earth observation data. You well done, they really help those developing countries, to make decisions, to formulate the agro policy, and also to make forecasts. And, so in Chinese saying, you don't just give them a few fish, but giving them the fishing rod so they can really take care of themselves down the road. And to the couple of countries involved, please take advantage of the ANSO Fellowship Program. Here, I want to elaborate. ANSO administers an international PhD training program, but hope those countries will identify some of the best young guys to be trained through that program. So going back home, re-entry, so they will participate in the CropWatch. Make sure you go healthy and to your country's benefit. And let us work hand in hand to achieve real success out of this program so that, Dr. Schmiller and those countries involved can proudly say that, so we have this program and wide and loud, more developing countries should master the CropWatch, capacity, and because it helps them make a big difference. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your remarks, Professor Chow. Before we move to the presentations, we would like to play a very short video that will introduce to the participants the CropWatch program. Colleagues, if you can play the video now.
CropWatch ICP, a collaboration between UNCTAD, ANSO, and AIRCAS empowering developing countries through satellite-based crop monitoring.
We have developed several tools on crop monitoring, which has been used and demonstrated in several countries in Africa and Asia, in order to ensure food security in the world.
So South-South cooperation in science, technology, and innovation is extremely important. Developing countries share same development aspirations, same development pathways, and the constraints they face in building technological capabilities are very similar. The technologies that emerge in developing countries are a lot more suitable to the local conditions and the low resource settings of other developing countries.
The motivation to participate in the CropWatch program is to recognize the importance of emerging technology to crop monitoring. The main reason why adopting advanced technology is to support sufficient food due to increasing of the global population, mean increasing of food consumption. We are still collaborating together to recognize for the remote sensing in agriculture and support agricultural policies.
I learned a lot about how to extract indicators via the CropWatch system. I also learned how to use the GVG application and how to collect data on seed. There is also the analytical experience and how to make the agricultural context in Algeria approachable through the CropWatch system. Overall, my experience on this project was very rewarding.
We hope through the implementation of this training program and coaching, the participating countries can truly master the skills and capacity to make appropriate agricultural decision makings and policies with analysis of Earth observation data, spatial information to advance their agriculture. The developing countries can use the system, rely on the same system to decide their own fate. So in Chinese saying, we say it's always better to give a man a fishing rod than just a few fish.
Very good. Next, we will hear a couple of presentations that will explain what the CropWatch program is, what has been done so far, and what kind of progress we're making. The first person to, or the first panelist to address this issue is going to be Professor Bingfang Wu, who is professor at the Aerospace Information Research Institute of the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Professor Wu, please.
Thank you, Andrea, and thank you, Sabika. It's my pleasure to be here to give an introduction on the CropWatch RCP, CropWatch Innovative Cooperation Program for Global Monitoring. First of all, why we have this project, mainly developing countries face huge challenges in meeting their food security target. So in Africa and Southeast Asia are the many hotspot regions suffering from food shortages, particularly in recent years in the COVID-19, desert locust, drought, flooding, and regional conflict also has threatened food securities. But the initial input and the operational cost, as well as the technical people, all these are constraining the developing countries to set up their own or operate or maintain their own crop systems. So if you lack of this kind of capacity, it will pose dangers for countries who take a decision based on the information or delivered by the other third parties without verify or delay. So this is a big issue for the developing countries on the food security. In this regard, Chinese Academy of Sciences Aerospace Information Research Institute has developed CropWatch Cloud, which is based on the Alibaba Cloud and using also observation data to do the global monitoring. And we are willing to share this technology to the world because we are the research body. We are really appreciate the people who can use all the tools we are developed. So that's why we are want to share these technologies. The CropWatch Cloud is including 4 components: the processing, data exploration, and the analysis, and also send out the pollutants. We have developed totally 32 indicators, including agroclimate indicators and economical indicators and the air yield and production indicators, all of this. And by using this technology, we also develop and publish quarterly and annually bulletins on the global monitoring and covering 173 countries and regions, and also focus on the 43 key agricultural countries. This is what we are doing using CropWatch Cloud. But once we moving all this technology to the cloud, we found this technology can be used by the countries by themselves, not only by me. That's why we set up this RCP program on the support of ANSO and coordinated by the UN CSTD. And the objectives for our program, RCP program, CropWatch RCP program is to facilitate and stimulate the global monitoring at the developing countries for the advancement of the SDG goals or for zero hunger through joint research and the capacity buildings with 2 particular objectives. One is to enable pilot countries who are participants to do the respective national or supranational global monitoring on their own in their own times, not by me, but by themselves, and also promote resilient agricultural practices by integrating geospatial images for global monitoring. And in this program, we have some key actions on the capacity buildings. We will have training workshops, and particularly we will provide on-job training in Beijing and also in the field. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19, this work has to be moved to the online trainings. But since this year, we will move to the field trainings and also invite people come to my office in Beijing to provide trainings. And also we are jointly to customize CropWatch for the specific requirement of the pilot countries. And then also we will hold regional workshops to share the experiences across countries, and particularly on the food security issues. And also the advantage of this project, we hope the training staffs of the participating countries can do themselves to use the CropWatch, and they can perform as trainers for their own officials, subnational officials, to empower more technical people to involve in the global monitoring, as we did in Mongolia and Mozambique. Our colleagues later on, they were sharing experience. They can do it. They can provide more their training to others, and also the CropWatch technology can be transferred to the participating countries to produce regular bulletins, regular monitoring, so they can enable to improve policy makings at the national and the national provincial levels, even down to the local levels, for the food market, for the food import export prospect, and all these other reliefs of all those things. And until now, we do some CropWatch trainings for low Mekong countries, 4 countries from low Mekong to join the training workshop several times in last 2-3 years. And also we provide trainings for the 14 countries, mainly from Africa, and also some from Asia, to this in the last year or 2 years ago, to do the online trainings. So this is very lucky for the CropWatch because it's online. So we can use through the online, we can do the practical trainings, not only in the lecture, but also they can practice online for the training courses. And also we for example, later on for the Mozambique, our colleague can use this platform to carry out their own monitoring and published national bulletins. And this CropWatch already customized for the Mozambique requirement also. And also we develop a link with Thailand AgriMap. Is their own this AgriMap is a system developed by the Thailand, but they can link to the CropWatch. So CropWatch is act as engines to produce the data, and they can download this data into the AgriMap and they provide the service to the Thailand people. And also we are now working closely with Nigeria to activate for the customize the system for Nigeria. And this program we signed an MOU with Nigeria National Aerospace Agency to more specifically cooperation to deliver transfer global technology to the Nigeria countries. And now we also do some joint field workers, virtual field workers for the country Mauritius and Algeria. Our colleague in the field and my colleague from Beijing provide the support in case there are some technical needs. So we provide the support on this. And also we are already customized system for Cambodia using their own languages. So they and they need their subnational levels. So Cambodian people can use the same system for themselves to do their own corporate monitoring. Now we are now is going to develop the customized CropWatch for the parallel countries, so Syria, Algeria, and Nigeria and Thailand. They're using their own language for that. So systems also is ongoing to provide high resolution global monitoring service. But for this is a huge work, so we cannot do. So we provide the tools to the people who are local in the countries. They carry out monitor by themselves on the high resolution monitoring on the global land, on the global types, monitoring all those things. And then in this program, next step, we will have regional workshops in Mauritius and also in Thailand. And also we will have food security sessions and the ANSO conference in November. And also we will provide hands-on trainings in the field in several countries and also trainings in Beijing for partner countries from May to November. So every countries may have come to Beijing for 1 month to provide training, so we can working closely together to make sure they can understand or they can practice to using CropWatch. And also at the same time, we can customize CropWatch for this using your based on your requirement or for reasons. So this is my introduction. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this very comprehensive overview of the program, Professor Wu. Now we will hear from Professor Hongwei Zheng, who is Associate Professor at the Aerospace Information Research Institute of the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Professor Zheng. Yes, for our online participants, please be patient for a couple of minutes while we sort out a computer problem. It seems that it's okay now. So, Professor Zheng, please.
Okay. Thank you, distinguished chair and Samika and Professor Cao. Today is my pleasure to make a presentation about to introduce a new project supported by ENSO. Actually, this is a component of ICP CropWatch project. We focus on the African country and do the crop production analysis and potential identifications in African countries. Why we do this work? And actually, 2015, UN proposed SDG goals, and after 7 years ago, until now, there has 7 years. What happened to the world? And actually, according to the report from UN, by 2020, there are a lot of people suffer from the food insecurity issues, and especially the African countries. Now, Africa has the highest proportion of the moderate to severely food insecure people. So it is urgent to improve the crop production in African countries. So how to do it? I think the first we should to find what is the major limiting factor for the increase of crop production in Africa. And second, we try to find a solution to reduce the gap between yield gap and between actual yield and the potential yield. So this is why we do this work. Please next. So the new project, the objectivity, we want to identify the major limiting factor of food production in Africa, and then to quantify the potential for increased food production. And the third, we try to provide the suggestions to optimize the cropping structure and the food demand in the Mediterranean regions. And last, we try to, after finish the project, we can prove the achievement of SDG tools in Africa. So actually, this project will have different working packages. The first, we want to analyze the change of crop production and the crop production per capita in Africa. And second, we try to find out what is the limiting factor for different sub-regions in the Africans. And third, we try to analyze the cropping structure and the food demand in the median regions. And last, this is joint publications. And the outcomes included the first is the crop production data from 2010 to 2020 in Africa. And second, we will initiate the attention by yield gap in Africa. And the last is the consulting suggestions to realize the SDG tools in Africa. This is the working network of the projects. We invited the experts from different countries such as South Africa, Mozambique, Egypt, and Nigeria, Ethiopia, and Zimbabwe. And actually, the working group is open to every to African countries. So if you have some interest, you can join us. Let us work together. And actually, we on the joint work with the African partners, we also develop a model. This model downscale the statistic data into spatial data, and this model this is based on the CropWatch data, and also used machine learning and AI technologies to develop the model. And based on this model, we generated the spatial data of maize, rice, wheat, and soybean of Africa from 2010 to 2020. So based on this data, we can analyze what's the change for different crops, and then to identify what is the major limiting factors to them, and then to provide what's the solution to improve the crop productions. So what is the next steps? So first, we want to expand our working group and invite more African countries to join us. So that based on the intelligence from African countries, we can later this project benefit more African countries. And the second, we are working together with the CropWatch ICP project together to benefit more African countries. And in this August, we want to organize the workshop in Beijing and invite the participants from Africa to join us and to push the head of project. And last, we will publish several publications and to provide the valuable suggestions to African countries to realize the SDG tools. That's what. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Zheng, for that interesting presentation. We move now to the next segment of our event, where we're going to hear from the experience of participants from the beneficiary countries. We will tell us how the program has impacted their activity in the respective institutions. We have first Mrs. Rakia Maji, who is Assistant Director in the National Space Research and Development Agency of Nigeria. Mrs. Maji, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, the moderator. The director, Dr. Shamika, and Professor Wu. Please permit me to stand on the existing protocol so that I will not take much time, because if I want to call everybody's name, I don't think I will be able to pronounce it till the end of this program. So I want to use this opportunity. It's a privilege for me and a honor to be part of this event. And I want to thank the UNCTAD, ANSO, AirCast for bringing this CropWatch program to Nigeria. Nigeria is a very large country. We call it motherland in Africa. We have over almost 200 million population. We have almost 900 plus square meter of land. One of the problems we are facing is agriculture. We are used to oil. We have oil, but then we all forget about agricultural activities in Nigeria. So the present government is trying to diversify into agriculture so that we will not depend only on oil in Nigeria. So my agency, which is Nigerian Space Agency, is called National Space Research and Development Agency, is responsible for using space technology to support the federal government in achieving sustainable development, most especially sustainable development goals. So the journey started when we got a call from Ministry of Foreign Affairs through the Ministry of Science and Technology, which is our mother ministry, to bid for CropWatch and be part of CropWatch coming training. That is around in 2001. And we did, and we were very lucky to be picked to attend the training. Though due to COVID, we did it online. And immediately my boss, who is Dr. Halil Ahmed Shaba, the Director General of Nigerian Space Agency, saw the program. He says, Nigeria has to be part of this program. And the discussion started from there. We were given an opportunity and we grabbed it. And we started from there. We participated in the training for 3 months. And we have a bilateral discussion with AirCast. We agreed that, okay, this program is worth doing in Nigeria because it is not easy in Africa to get information and data, most especially when you want to get a near real-time data. It's very hard, either due to technology, lack of technology, or lack of internet to even transfer one data from one place to the other is a problem. So coming of this CropWatch is like a way of, okay, bridging the gap of technology disadvantage in Nigeria, especially with related to agriculture. So we agreed and several deliberations, and we end up signing an MOU with AirCast, supported by UNCTAD and ANSO. Today we have several ministries within the country as stakeholder in this CropWatch. For example, we have Ministry of Agriculture, we have Ministry of Water Resources, we have National Hydrological Service Agencies, we have National Meteorological Service Agency. They are all partner in this, local partner in the CropWatch. So we have signed the MOU. We have started, we did one stakeholder workshop, one-day dialogue, where we bring all the different local stakeholders that are relevant when it comes to agriculture to introduce the CropWatch, and we have the AirCast online presenting, and they were all happy because this is like a new technology coming to Nigeria to help us achieve zero hunger, which is SDG 2, and help us eradicate food insecurity. So we had that dialogue, and then we discussed. The beauty of this project is that you were given a space to make an input. So we were asked to talk about what do we want? How do we want, what kind of crops do we want to monitor? So that is the reason why we bring all the relevant stakeholders in the country to talk about that. So we agree on the crops that we want to be monitored. We agree on the scale the scope of coverage that we want the CropWatch to be used for, which we have the cereal crops and then the tuber crop like yam and cassava. And then we agree it will be on national, state, and local level. So, so far, we have been part of the global quarterly publication. We started since last year. We have had almost 4 publications till date now. We have several online, training and discussion. We have set up a PIT, project implementation team in the country that involve all the stakeholders. And then we have exchanged data. And as of now, the CropWatch is on its way. Just last 2 weeks ago or last month, we have now access to information on the local government level, not just on the national level. We have information on the national. You can click Nigeria and you click on the state, and then you go to the local level, because we have 3 tiers of government in Nigeria: this national, the state, and the local level. So that is a huge plus for Nigeria, because there's no way you can get an information on local level on any activities in Nigeria. But for this to cascade down to the local level, it's like going to the end user, to the rural people. They will have access to that. So we are very, very much happy for the progress. And we're hoping by next year, it will be in a full operation. And then everybody can have access to it and we will use it. But for now, we are sharing the bulletin for people to know the status of the arable land, the vegetation condition of the country, the biomass of the country, the NDVI data can be gotten for that. So we are very grateful for this. The next thing we are doing now is next month in May, we are going to bring back the stakeholder again for them to see this progress that I just mentioned about the data being cascaded to the local level, and so that they will have access to it. And then the next one is the upcoming training for data collection in order to validate all the product that we have from the CropWatch. And that is coming in July, as mentioned by Professor Wu. And we also want to take advantage of the ANSO proposal of fellowship program for young scientists from Nigeria, so that there will be continuity and sustainability for the project. If you have young ones, after 3 years, they will take over. And when it's handed us, we know we have Nigerian scientists running the Nigerian customized CropWatch for the Nigerian people. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Maggi, for that progress report, and also for taking the long perspective and also start thinking about how to ensure the long-term sustainability of the outcomes of this program. Next, we're going to hear from Mr. Jamel Mansour, who is an engineer in the Algerian Space Agency in Algeria. I think he will be joining us virtually. Mr. Mansour, please.
Yes. Hello?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes. I will terminate now. It's okay.
Mr. Mansour, please go ahead.
Yes, yes. So I am pleased to present the CropWatch cooperation project, which has been successfully carried out thanks to international collaboration. As you know, Algeria is a country that in the field of agriculture, including limited water resources and unpredictable weather conditions. However, with the help of the CropWatch cooperation project, we can address some of these challenges and improve crop management practice in the country. By combining our skill and resources, we were able to create an innovation system that provide valuable information through CropWatch system as crop growth management in different parts of the country in Algeria. We also able to give some farmers and decision makers to make information decision about crop management and resource use. So our collaboration was successful thanks to effective communication, clear division of responsibilities, and a common willingness to address this scientific challenge. I am proud to say that our work has had a significant impact on agriculture and environment. And we are confident that the CropWatch system will continue to provide benefits in the future. We hope that our CropWatch cooperation project will serve as an example for other international collaboration in the field of the science and technology. So let me tell you what we have done in this part of cooperation. During the project, I was responsible for crop country analysis. This involved agrometeorological indicators. I work closely with NANA and other CropWatch team to ensure that we were meeting the project objectives and staying on track. One of the biggest challenge we faced during the project was to achieve the field work in the case of Sidi Bel Abbas area. So the overcome of this challenge, we work actually about personalization of CropWatch system at the regional level in Algeria. We also had to analysis of the agricultural context via two issue of CropWatch built-in. In conclusion, working on CropWatch was a valuable experience for me. Okay. Experience for me. I was able to contribute to the project success, and I learned a lot about how to extract indicators via CropWatch system. I also learned how to use GVG application and how to collect data on the seed. There is also the analytical how to make the agricultural context in Algeria approachable through the CropWatch system. Overall, my experience on this project was very rewarding. I learned how to analyze different indicators and how to also manipulate GVG application from the field work, which will help me in future projects. I also developed my reflection according to the need of agricultural sector in terms of information on the state of the crop cycle and their condition to ensure a good development of the crops. On the most, I am satisfying in part of this project, and I invite other countries that not yet integrated the CropWatch system to do so. Thank you for listening to my experience.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mansour, for that very interesting report. And it's very encouraging to hear that already at this stage of the program, you can report on such significant positive impact on the program on your own work. Next, we're going to listen to Mrs. Arti Gangusing Bangwari, who is a researcher at the Food and Agricultural Research and Extension Institute of Mauritius. Madam, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair, panel members, senior officials from UNCTAD, from ANSO and ERCAS, participants, good afternoon, everybody. So I'm here, just like Rakia, to share with you my experience of the CropWatch Innovative Cooperation Program. You must have realized by now that it is a successful application of satellite technology to support inclusive implementation of the SDGs. And on the figure shown, you can see the map of Mauritius with the spatial distribution of crop condition based on NDVI anomaly, which is an indicator for crop condition. It was prepared in January 2021, and since January is rather a dry period in Mauritius, that's why you have so many yellow and orange spots on the diagram. Now, some information on Mauritius. Mauritius is an island, so we are surrounded by the sea in the Indian Ocean. We are around 900 kilometers east of Madagascar, quite small in size, only 2,040 kilometers square, population slightly less than 1.3 million. And we are composed of a number of islands. The main island is Mauritius, but we also have Rodrigues, Agalega, and Saint-Brandon, and we are quite known as a tourist destination. Next one, agricultural landscape. For hundreds of years, sugarcane has occupied a large proportion of our agriculture, simply because we were exporting sugar. And this was at the expense of other crops. As you can see in the table, there's a large disparity between land devoted to sugarcane compared to other crops. And so this resulted in a high dependence on food imports. We have to import more than 70% of our food requirements, which is very large. And being an island, we are vulnerable to natural calamities. We face the challenges of climate change. These years we're having flash floods, droughts, heavy rainfall, cyclones. So all these also affect our agriculture. And for these reasons, the Mauritian government is now promoting agricultural diversification and sustainable agriculture, along with the use of innovative technologies to transform local agriculture. Now, what we have heard now, so as you know, CropWatch, it's a partnership between ERCAS, ANSO, and UNCTAD. And the major objective is innovative crop monitoring for food security. Now, my involvement in the project, so I was one of the 21 participants from 14 countries. We had the online training from March to May 2021. That was during the COVID lockdown. And so we were introduced to cloud technology, to different terms and indicators used to assess crop condition. I must say this area was completely new to me, but the resource persons were so professional and dedicated that I was eager to learn more about the topic, and so I was able to complete the project. Now, we also registered on the cloud platform, learned how to use geospatial information for crop condition monitoring, and also how to use agroclimatic and agronomic data to produce forecasts, country bulletins, and early warning bulletins, and so on. We even downloaded the GVG app on our mobile phone for field applications. So GVG stands for GIS, video, and GPS. It's a user-friendly tool. It's not very complicated and quite easy to use. Now, so that was in 2021. In 2022, we performed some field activities across Mauritius together with my colleague Yamini in the picture. So using our mobiles with the GBG app, we visited potato, onion, tomato, and pineapple plantations and collected data. Now, my appreciation of the CropWatch ICP is that it is highly in line with Mauritian government's endeavor to boost agricultural production. just recently we had Les Assises de l'Agriculture, which was held from 16 to 20 March. That was a workshop together with an exhibition on agriculture. And the theme was Pathways to a Sustainable Food System for a Healthier Tomorrow. So the major objective was to boost agriculture production and also to boost innovation in agriculture. Second, we can say that CropWatch ICP is directly related to SDG number 2, but it is also related to SDG number 1, because if our farmers are able to produce, to sell their products, it helps to reduce poverty. It also helps towards SDG 13 and 15, because thanks to CropWatch, we can reduce the usage of chemical pesticides that are harmful to the environment. And of course, it's related to SDG 17, since it's an example of South-South cooperation. And the CropWatch ICP, it also conforms with the African Union Comprehensive Agriculture Development Program, known as the CADEP, which was approved by the African head of states at the African Union. The major objective of this initiative is a framework for agricultural transformation on the African continent. Future works, just as announced before, I do hope that the GVG app will be customized for Mauritius, and there's a regional CropWatch meeting to be held in July 2023, that is this year in Mauritius. So you are all welcome to attend to learn more about the project. And my personal interest in the project is that I hope that it is customized for pineapple. In the pictures here, you can see that the pineapple leaves have taken a reddish color because it's due to a disease, and it affects the size of the pineapples. You can see some are big ones, some are small ones, and this affects the exportation of the crops, of the fruits. So if we can forecast this problem, it will be a big help to our growers. Before ending, I'd like to thank all the partners of CropWatch, the organizers of the training, who were very dedicated people. The resource persons, as I said, were highly professional, the sponsors, because we needed their support too. And special thanks to Ms. Nanayan, who was very committed to this project. She's not here, but she was very good. And the management of Faroe, where I work, my colleagues, especially Ms. Yamini for her collaboration for fieldwork, Yongtat for inviting me for today's meeting, and a special thanks to Mr. Zinatan and his team for all the support provided. So thank you. Merci pour votre attention. Sheshe. See you in Mauritius in July this year.
Thank you very, very much, Mrs. Vangwari, for that very nice presentation. We're going to hear now from Mrs. Jatuporn Nontasiri, who is a statistician and senior professional at the Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives of Thailand. Mrs. Nontasari, please.
Okay, let me share screen. Have you seen my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your invitation for the memorial meeting on this event. My name is Jatuporn Nontasiri and work at the Office of Agricultural Economics, Thailand. And I would like to present about the CropWatch experience in Thailand. For the firstly, Office of Agricultural Economic attend the online training in the CropWatch Innovative Cooperation Program for Agriculture Monitoring, or called CropWatch ICP, in 2021. 12 countries attend this training, and the lecturer is from the several agencies, for example, ACAS, the Tsinghua University, and Manchester Metropolitan University. The main objective of this training were to point out the importance of forecast of crop production by applying Earth observation data, or EO, and natural disaster warning during the season. As you know that the climate change is really serious at the present, so this system is really advantageous to monitoring. Enhancing the skill of remote sensing, especially in the agricultural aspect, was the aim of this training too. Conceptually, the reflectance of electromagnetic radiation is the main property of satellite data to distinguish vegetation and soil surface. The spectral index is useful for crop monitoring and analyzing the different wavelengths of crop canopy under different conditions. Evaluation of crops separate into two periods. For the first one, short period consists of the irrigation model based on the survey, meteorology of agriculture, biomass, and harvest index by adopting the satellite data. Weather data, for example, daily temperature and solar radiation length is really useful for the short term, and in situ measurement for the dye biomass and crop yield from the crop cutting experiment is really useful. The CropWatch is developing by integrating the different crop forecasting model in the different several scales as you see on the diagram. The medium and long term consists of crop growth model based on weather scenario and integrate data with data assimilation from the field survey. For the background of the CropWatch is the cloud-based platform. Thus, user able to access it anywhere if you have the internet system and able to adjust the specific indicator with the agroecological zone AEZ. The CropWatch cloud platform is designed to setting or configuration with the user interest. For example, you can select the preferable language, country, and the platform consists of the 4 main subsections with the different functions. For this, for the CropWatch goal is to analyze the raw data automatically by utilizing meteorology for agriculture, indicator for crop planting, and creating the thematic map for our analysis by identifying parameter and the period. Crop Explorer is the service where the website for the convert to visualization and search the data or information via the WebGIS technology. Thirdly, is the CropWatch analysis. It's the method for creating a report and analysis chapter. Also, this subsection enable the user to import the thematic map, table, and graph from the CropWatch bowl for the analysis. And lastly, the CropWatch bulletin is designed for the publication of the analysis and forecast production in important serial on the CropWatch bulletin quarterly. OAE have a chance to use for the GVG application to correct the various land use in the Kittit province. The detail except for the land use category consists of the crop type, high percentage of crop density, irrigation, and growth state. During the training, the topic involved how to create a new report about your country analysis and assign section tasks to every author for the participants. For the thematic map that we can create is the crop phenology and overall condition, agroclimatic condition, for example, rainfall, temperature, photo absorb, radiation, and potential biomass and agronomic condition. For the next is the agrometeorological indication by using cane yield and meteorological space yield. The biomass and harvest index by considering the land use efficiency for above ground biomass accumulation is stimulated. We depend on the capacity of absorb photosynthetically active radiation of PAR that link to the crop photosynthesis. Principally, temperature and rainfall are key factors for biomass accumulation. Next, the subnational analysis was determined. Various agronomic are determined such as vegetation condition index, which compare the peak of growing season with the historical peak value over the same growing season. Seasonal NDVI development is useful to know the situation of crop in this area. Rainfall development, NDVI clustering that show the time series clustering using the ISO data algorithm can compare the time profile of all pixels and categorize them into the limit of behavior and achieve the spatial distribution of NDVI and the NPP departure from 5-year by pixel. So we are able to interpret the result from generating map and table to understand the normal or abnormal of crop situation. For example, high, good, or moderate or poor prospect of crop production during the reporting period. And we are appreciated to join the bulletin in the Thailand for the latest bulletin in the February 2023 by create automatic map and our analysis chapter in Thailand. I think this is really useful information because you can recognize the data information on the different AEZ in Thailand. In the near future, host agencies should be developed, for example, capacity building, human resource, or satellite data that precedes and science technology, and collaborate with local and international agencies to guarantee food availability and reduce hunger among the population. CropWatch is one implementation tool that efficiency to support agricultural information for ensuring food security and sustainable development goals. And I hope that we can be able to have the training as soon in the May of this year. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nontasari. I think that was a very rich presentation and provided a good evidence of the wealth of information that the system makes available to agricultural policymakers in developing countries. Our last speaker this afternoon will be Mr. José Bofana, who is a researcher at the Catholic University of Mozambique in Mozambique. Mr. Bofana, please.
Thank you, dear Chair. With your permission, Professor Chow, Ms. Shamira, Professor Wu, I will go to present a success case of CropWatch implementation in Mozambique. May I have my slides, please?
Ms. Montessori, can you please, thank you.
So my presentation will be more like a storytelling about the progress and the stage of CropWatch in Mozambique. Before I start, I would like to address some key points and show the gaps that we had in Mozambique regarding the crop outputs. As for now, agriculture continues to be one of the priority at national level, contributing in 2021 with about 27% of the national GDPs. And this is also a sector that holds a great potential due to its unusable arable land, which account for 36 million hectares. And also we have a good favorable agricultural conditions. But one of the challenges that are there, challenging the food security, is the country vulnerability to extreme weather shocks and fluctuation on international food prices. So the impact of these events can be mitigated by assessing the timely information about global food production. So to assess those the impact of these events, there is a need to have a strong agricultural monitoring system. But as most of the countries, Mozambique fails to build its own agricultural monitoring systems, first due to the cost of it, and secondly, the knowledge, the technical knowledge that they require. So as so, most of the policymakers and decision makers are over dependent of information provided by third party, which in most of the cases are out of date or are incomplete information. And most of the affected people or the affected people due to this are the small farmers, which are most dependent on agricultural activity for their subsistence. So there was a need to have an agricultural monitoring system which could estimate domestic and global agriculture production and provide also early warning about shortage or gluts. So that's when we got the CropWatch as a solution. So as we already heard here, the CropWatch is a monitoring system. The CropWatch is a crop monitoring systems that used both satellite-based remote sensing to monitor 4 major categories of 32 indicators. So these indicators includes the agroclimatic indicators, arable land use intensity, agronomy indicator, as well as the crop productions indicators. Since the establishment of CropWatch system in Mozambique in 2018, it was officially launched in a collaboration between the ERCAS and the Catholic University of Mozambique through the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Since then, several trainings took place, most on the Ministry of Agriculture at national level as well as at the provincial level. In addition to the trainings, collaborative data collection also took place, most collecting data about the crop production, crop phenologies, and the main tools used for that were the GVG, as was already mentioned here, which is an application that helps to collect field data. We also rely on the UAVs and some questionnaires to have information about the yield production and so on. As the output of those field works, we were capable of mapping the national cropland distribution over the country with an overall accuracy of 83%. And this information was provided to the Ministry of Agriculture of Mozambique in 2019 during a conference in Shenzhen, China. From this information added to the national boundaries map, which was provided by the National Center for Cartography, also the National Agroecological Zones map and the phenology maps provided by the Ministry of Agriculture, added to the input information which were collected through the years, we were able to customize the CropWatch system for Mozambique. Here is the dashboard for CropWatch Mozambique. As you can see, we were able to customize it in local language. As I'm telling you, the official language in Mozambique is Portuguese. So there were no use of having the system customized to English or another language. So we worked together with the CropWatch team to provide the system in Portuguese. And we were able also to customize it at the lowest level possible based on the boundaries provided by the National Cartography of Mozambique. And with that, several remote sensing based information, including precipitation, temperature, NDVI, vegetation condition index, and so on, can be accessed by anyone through login anywhere at any time. So if a farmer has the capability to access internet, he can have this information at convenient time for him. So he can see what is going on in the field or in the country. Not only we do monitor the crop conditions, but also we are able to assess the disaster's impacts on crop development. As an example, we are able to respond to the cyclone Idai, providing information about the impacts of this event to crop development. We are able to estimate the flooded area and also estimate the loss due to crop, which helped the decision makers to prompt respond to the cyclone. As in June 2018, Mozambique has officially integrated the CropWatch products into its own agrometeorological bulletin, which is a document published every month during the rain season to provide information on crop condition and forecastings for this the cropping season. Now, we also have a collaborative crop conditions and disasters update in Portuguese language, which is published now also every month. And we have a dedicated page also on the CropWatch system, where we provide those information also in Portuguese. Apart from the bulletin that is published quaternary by the CropWatch team, Mozambique also now can produce its own information and update it in the CropWatch system as well. So here is a deployment of Mr. Iten, who works at the Department of Crop and Early Warning from the Ministry of Agriculture in Mozambique. So he said that we use CropWatch mainly for crop development forecasts. And our team has been applying the tool to generate monthly agriculture bulletin during the rain season, which inform policies making at national and provincial level agricultural department. And in 2019, the CropWatch Cloud for Mozambique was selected as one of the best rural solutions by the International Fund for Agricultural Development due to its contribution in improving the capacity of Mozambique to access domestic and global agricultural information. So as saying that, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fana, for that presentation and the information about what you are already achieving in your country with these systems. Quite a successful experience, I think. We are running a little short with time, but we have a few minutes for questions and answers from our panelists here. So if there are any participants here in the room that want to take the floor now. Peru, please.
Okay. You hear me? Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman and all the presenters. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Airspace Information Research Institute from the Chinese Academy of Science, as well as to participant and beneficiary countries for the very promising results you have presented today. As you have shown, the CropWatch is being used for policymaking and also for food security in Africa and Asia, helping the achievement of the SDG 2 or Zero Hunger goal. So my question is regarding because the CropWatch is a program is seen as a South-to-South capacity building cooperation program. So have you considered to have a future regional CropWatch program for Latin America? Because I've seen that you are considering only Asian and African countries. And the other question is if the program is open also to use other satellites than the Chinese tools. Thank you.
Thank you, Peru. I don't know who would want to take this question, perhaps Professor Wu?
Yes, we are, first of all, thank you for your interest in the CropWatch. We are very happy. We are happy to be involved in the future in the Latin America. And in fact, when we are initiating these programs, we also consider to invite the country from Latin America to join us. But in that time, only one country who are participated. But it's because if we organize the time difference, so if we organize a workshop for one country, is not so efficient. So if you more than one or several countries join us, then we can particularly to organize a special session or workshop for the Latin America for another one. And for the satellite data, in fact, in the CropWatch processing component, we have a function to process all data, not only from Chinese satellite data, but also Landsat, Sentinel, and also local satellite data. For example, in the future, we will process the Nigeria satellite themselves, so we can incorporate all local satellite into the systems. So that's what we are doing. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. I think in Ghana or Gambia, sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Also, to answer the gentleman for Peru, so ANSO as an international science organization and has a number of collaborating partners in Latin America. and including an organization in Chile, in Argentina, in Brazil. So we also play a role and in extending the services and hope that they will also get on board. So in that case, we'll be able to have the critical mass to start a training. And ANSO is firmly behind this, trust it, we'll do extra homework and hope that, your wish will be realized. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Chow. Gambia.
And thank you for the wonderful presentation. I think Gambia also is very much interested in this, given the fact that we have Nigeria. So my question basically, I share the same sentiment with Peru. If there is a regional approach to addressing this issue, it will be better. For example, with a regional framework, in ECOWAS, we have over 15 countries. I think only Nigeria actually is participating in out of the 15 countries. So if you have a regional collaboration with the organization, then it's easier for other countries like my country, the Gambia, to easily catch up so that we are actually not left behind. So thank you.
Thank you, Gambia. I don't know if you would like to address the comment.
Yes, I think you have this is a really good ideas. First of all, we hope we can continue this program to can be more beneficial country can join us. That's for sure. And also second is I think once the Nigeria who are graduated from the CropWatch programs, they also can organize regional panels to invite the country together. So it's much more easy to communicate at the regional levels instead of we come from far away from China. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Gambia, from ECOWAS countries. I want to say that last week we were with ECOWAS Agricultural Directorate because there was a regional program coming up, the launching of ECOSAT. So we are doing need assessment for the type of satellite that ECOWAS want, and my organization, Nigerian Space Agency, is in charge of the need assessment, the consultancy for the need assessment. So we're going from directorate to directorate, and we pitched the CropWatch to Directorate of Agriculture, and they were really interested. They want to be part of it, and they will be inviting us for their next bilateral collaboration between the Directorate of Agriculture of ECOWAS and the Nigerian Space Agency. And definitely sure by that time, you will start hearing about the CropWatch and where we'll take it to next level. And also the GMS Africa, Global Monitoring and Environmental Security, was supposed to invite us this week, but because I'm here, we couldn't make, so we shifted it to another program of theirs when they are hosting in ECOWAS region. We're going to make a presentation of CropWatch to the entire GMS team within African Union framework. So we're hoping to be spreading the good news, because it's not just Nigerian that need that. Almost every country in Africa need it. And being a big sister in the African country, definitely sure we want to propagate the information to other.
Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Wu, can I just raise one little question? Is that possible? Because now we have the digital lecturing, just in case that you can work out a regular course, in a digital format with support of, Shamila, then we have the beneficial countries. They can support to extend the training, maybe that will be the future strategy. Yes. Do think about it. Yeah.
Yes, we will. In fact, every year we have a regular training courses to the countries, but the difference of group. But if a country who are interested anytime who can hip it on, or hop on, or hop off, so it's no problem to join us anytime, it's not later. Yeah.
Professor Chow, since you said that that we also need to be involved. Just let me tell you, because, we are the CSTD Secretariat. Our business is to build bridges. Those who have technologies and knowledge, and we would support, how do they take them to the countries that are in need of knowledge and technology? So that we will be there for you to bridge this, to build the bridges. So just want to let you know. But the success, I think you heard here, the success very much depends on the real ministries that are working on these issues, coming on board. It's the space agencies, the agricultural ministries, the academia who are really specializing in space applications. They need to be on board. So I know the missions sometimes are quite keen on getting onto these programs, but it has to be, it's the capital, it's the ministries in capital and the experts in capital that needs to be involved. Otherwise, we will train people, they will be very high skill, but they will retain in close quarters of their think tanks or the university, and it will not go out to the world and out to the end users at the end, the farmers. So please keep that in mind when you want to apply to the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Shamika. I think I don't see any other participant that is asking for the floor. And I think we need to close our discussion now because we need to prepare the room for the next session of the CSTD. But I would just like to thank everyone who participated in this discussion. I think it complements very well what we heard this morning about the need to move from discussions here in the CSTD to real partnerships and real action on the ground. I think this is a very good example, and we have heard of very successful initiatives taking already shape in the participating countries. Just want to mention that in addition to the good participation that we have in the room, we had 60 participants online in this event. So I think we are reaching out to many potential participants in this very, very innovative program that has been launched in partnership with our friends from ANSO and the CAS. And with this, I thank you very much for your participation and invite you to stay here for the next session of the CSTD. Thank you.